The art of making money and spending money. Welcome to my channel. Like, share, subscribe. Money appears in your life as a consequence, not a cause. Big mistake to think otherwise. Money appears when you do something right, and after that, it causes a lot of things. But first, there are consequences, and the reason for their appearance is you. In passive income, the most important rule is do not lose body. When you invest money in a bank or some other investment fund company in order to receive interest, the main thing is not to risk with this deposit amount. The higher the interest promised to you, the higher the risk. This must be remembered. Therefore, for the reliability of saving deposits, the most reliable banks, Swiss and American, offer only 1% per annum. But even the most stable bank will not save you from inflation. It saves only your own business, in which you can earn a lot or completely burn out. You need money to satisfy your material needs. And to get money, you need to do something for people, something for which they are willing to pay. It is not so easy because you have to constantly think and act, grow and develop, improve. What follows from all this? Money is the desire of the other people to give you the opportunity to receive material values. You don't decide, other people do it. Here, how much money do you have? 1,000 or a million? This means that people allowed to get you only 10,000, 1,000 or a million. They gave it to you. They allowed you buy what you want. Therefore, if you want money, people must want to give it to you. This will only happen if you will do something for them, and not just a grandmother through you will translate the road, and you will do what they will pay you for. This task is one of the most difficult. How earn money to satisfy your appetite. The most important thing is customer focus. How are rich people different from poor people? Now we can say with confidence, they have a different attitude towards customers. Most professionals and managers do not understand who their customers are. They are not customer-oriented. You have to think for 24 hours how to satisfy the client, how to give him what he wants, what material values, because he pays the money. Who is your target audience? Is a focus on a person who can give you money in exchange for the values that you already provide. And money allows you to satisfy your material needs. Simple logic. You need to think about the client, get to know him, satisfy his needs. Putting aside money is right. 10% is the minimum, and it will be your emergency money reserve, which gives a feeling of freedom. And if you have your own business, then set aside at once and two reserve funds for business and for personal needs for the family. 10% minimum. There is an expression, the heavier the wallet, the easier life. This is very correct, although it violates Newton's law. First put it aside, and then don't count what's left, and spend it with pleasure, otherwise why live? Well, if you run out of money, didn't calculate, made a spontaneous purchase, then you will have to save a little until the next income. It happens to everyone, it's okay. What do you do if someone asks you to borrow money? Treat it like a business, because ask yourself, who is usually borrowed from? At the bank. If you want to be such a bank, this is a great business, very rich people are engaged in. If you don't want to do this, don't give money. If you can sell money like other people, go to Candid on bail. Money is not borrowed, it is bought, because not only services and goods are sold, money too. The bank buys them cheaper and sells them for more. Do you like having extra money and don't know what to do? Please, get into the business of selling money, but do it well. If you do poorly, you will lose, as in any new business. If you have never been in this business before, you will almost certainly lose. It is wrong to lend money and a debtor does not return it to you, because you will start to think that the neighbor or the relative, the friend to whom you so unsuccessfully lent it is a bad person. In fact, it's not like that. It means you are a bad businessman. To be in business, you need to know how to do this. Do you still want to borrow? Then find companies that gives loans. You, as an investor, give your deposited percent. The company gives your funds to those in need, and over time, the debtor repays the debt with a commission, and you and the company earn your income interest. Only if you decide to open a business in order to earn money, you can take a loan, but not for personal whims like buy a new iPhone. While the child is small, the parents give him money, but as soon as he grows up, he must start earning himself. How much he has earned, so much he has the right to spend. If not enough, let him earn more, not borrow. Debts must be repaid, definitely. This is an open and unspoken rule, because business is a spiritual thing. If you turn off your decency, you will lose many times more on something else. In business, situations may arise when you can throw money at another person and not to pay, but then you will no longer be trusted and you will no longer respect yourself. And self-respect always remains very important for people, even more important than money. People's fear of their desires gives rise to a personal crisis. Any life is a series of success and crises, and you have to go through them with dignity and become smarter, more experienced. There is something good in everything bad. The main task: find it good and use it because it gives up you. What is a crisis and why is it happening? The crisis begins when we start to slow down, lag behind development. It seems that we should develop faster and faster, but this is not in turnout. And the more often there are crises in your life, it means that you are still at lower levels of development. Nobody is safe from this. A crisis is when something doesn't happen that you wanted. You wanted one thing, but in reality you get much worse. Failure of the speed of achievements, disappointment. You simply do not have time to become what the Creator sees you. Of course, this is primarily an internal feeling. You are very dissatisfied, you have a crisis, and someone else in that same situation will be in a great mood. And it depends not from the events themselves, but from how a person interprets what happens to him. What happened means specifically for you. For one, it is a tragedy. For the second, it is a comedy. For the third, it is a lesson. And the fourth, in general, didn't notice anything. Here it will be necessary to understand how far we are lagging behind development, how much we do less than we should, and the meaning of each person's ability to notice and take them, go further, become better, develop. People themselves came up with the idea that the crisis is bad. In fact, a crisis is life, a process itself, and the absence of it is already death, because a dead person does not have crisis. And in order to move forward, to move to any new level, a person simply needs a crisis. Because you are used to live the way you live, used to think and act in a certain way, that you are already frozen in this state and do everything according to the template, without changing anything, as you did yesterday. But at some point, the usual scam suddenly stops working in order to shake you up and force you to do something else. There are people who are very dumb. They are on a special account with the Creator. and sooner or later he starts with them. Work hard. Something must be done to make the person shook himself and at least try to see the reality. Heart attacks, strokes, all sorts of other troubles fall on him on the head, and he continues to persist. He sees nothing, he hears nothing, understands nothing, and so it goes until death. For the Creator, human life is worth nothing. The body has no value, only soul. A crisis is a person's internal conflict between his illusions and reality. Your ego suffers a lot without your beliefs, and a person must also be flexible, adapt, and understand that at any moment all your long-term norms and beliefs may no longer be relevant. That is why you should not blindly rest your horn on some old principles and do not look around in search of new ideas and directions. It is already a shame not to admit your mistakes following obsolete convictions. And doing things today, you must be sure that you are right, but at the same time understand that after some time this will also outlive itself. I hope you like this video. Share, like, comments. See you next time. Bye bye.